Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Giordano's Garage. It's Andrew here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today I'm going to be working on this Honda HRN 216. It has a GCV 170 on it. And I'm going to be adjusting the valves today. So with that, let's get started. The reason that I'm adjusting the valves are the pull cord. It's really hard to pull it when I start. So I think the valves might be misaligned or out of adjustment, but let's the lawnmower model number is this HRN 216 VYAA, and then the engine number is down here. It's gonna be that GCV 170A space MY05 space R280 or the GJAUA. And the best way to do this is you're gonna take this cover off the top of the mower where it covers the blower housing, and you have this little metal piece right here. It's gonna have a Phillips head screw in it. I've lost mine since, but you'll unscrew it and then you pull the little metal clip out, and then this red part is just attached by these 4 red clips inside. So all you have to do is pop them off, and you'll also have to unscrew the gas cap. And that'll just make it easier so that when you have to get the valve cover off, you can get some leverage, because Honda uses that Honda Bond valve sealant or valve cover sealant instead of a gasket. We'll zoom in a little bit, and what we'll do next is we'll take off the spark plug, and with that we are going to have a 21 millimeter. So we'll take this up. And this way we can get the piston to top dead center on the compression stroke. The other thing when you're working with this engine is, before you take the valve cover off, you have to lift the front of your engine up a little bit. And the reason for that is if you don't, if you don't lift the engine up and you take the valve cover off, oil will just start spilling out of the front. And for the valve cover, you'll have the 4 10 millimeter bolts to get this off. Take out these 4 10 millimeters. And now we are going to take the valve cover off. You'll hear it when it cracks apart. And then you want to try to take as much of the old gasket as you can off, so that when you put it back together it'll lie flat and form a good seal. And now you're just going to pull the pull cord until you have your valve so that you're in the compression stroke. So this is the intake and that's the exhaust right there. And so the exhaust goes down, so intake is down. So we want to look in here as our piston comes back up. And we have it at top dead center. And then we want to get a feeler gauge. If you look up online, you want to have the clearance of both the intake and the exhaust between 3/1000ths of an inch and 5/1000ths of an inch. So I'm gonna do 4/1000ths of an inch. And then what you'll do is you are gonna get. I have this little tool here. It's a 9mm that I can slip over the nut, the locking nut on the valves. But I'll check first. So I'll slide this feeler gauge in, see that it's very loose. So I'm going to crack it loose. And then, let's see if you can see. So there's this little square nut in the center of the locking bracket, and you turn that left and right to loosen it or tighten it. So turn it to the right to tighten it, and you want to just have your feeler gauge in there so that it's barely touching. And then once you have that, you'll go through and you'll do your locking nut again. You want to have, if you don't have a way to hold the adjustment screw in place when you're locking again, you might want to keep it just a little bit loose so that when you go in there and you lock it, it tightens it. It's still a little loose. Alright. And once you get the intake done, you'll come over the exhaust and you'll do the same thing. So you will loosen that screw. You'll get your 4/1000ths or your 0.1mm, and you are going to make sure you just feel this slight resistance, and then you'll come and you'll tighten that locking nut back up, and that's how you adjust the valves. The final real step is to get some RTV or some Honda bond, and you want to put a bead of bond around the edge of the valve cover. Put the valve cover back and get our 4/10mm. And you want to start by hand threading these in just to make sure you're not cross threading. It's a good idea to go in a cross pattern. and then we'll put our spark plug in. Tighten that down. And I'll put the mower down. Spark plug boot back on. And then you'll get the cover and you'll pop that back into its 4 hold until you hear it click. Put the gas cap on. And then don't forget that little metal bracket that you'll put right next to the carburetor in that first hole. And that's how you adjust the valves. I hope that this video was helpful for you guys, and I hope you'll subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment down below. Thanks so much, and I will see you next time. Bye.